And we're going to finish the 16th chapter of The Key to the Indian by Lynne Reid Banks. Little Bear has sat Omri and his father down on the ground and is starting to talk to them about what's going on. "I wait," said Little Bear clearly. "I wait before make move. I wait for you. But now, not wait more. I must decide for my people. We cannot stay here. There is much danger." "What is the danger?" asked Omri's dad. "English soldiers go home and leave us. People of the Longhouse are alone." There was a pause. He scowled as if suddenly remembering that they were English, but if so, it didn't hold him back. "They promise very much for our help. Weapons, blankets, trade goods, pay from English king. They use fine words. No Indian child cold again. No Indian woman hungry. Ha! So we fight. First the French, then other Indians. We beat them. English thanked us. But as we fight, all is changing. White men come. More than hunters and traders. Men with hunger for our land. Many, many come here from across the big water. Bad men. They call us savages. They teach us what that word means. Cheat, lie, do very evil things. Then English king's men come again to us. Again they need us to fight these bad people. They call us rebels, men who hate English king and want to stay here and drive Indians out with tricks and lies, with white man's sickness, with whiskey, with guns, with fire." "The settlers," said Omri's father under his breath to Omri. "The European settlers who are starting to be American." Little Bear didn't hear him. "This time we tread the warpath with hot blood. More than before. We hate these people. They are like fire in forest, river that forgets its path, that grows and grows and swallows everything. They move always toward the sunset, westward. They cut down our trees, drive away our hunt animals, burn our corn, kill and do worse than kill." He turned his face away and his voice dropped. "Omri, you asked one time about wife who is gone from me." "Yes, you told me she died." "Yes, but not how. Now you will listen. White savages come and burn our crops. They take my wife. Take her, you understand me? When found, she was not dead. She asked me to end her shame. I could not, but she—" He stopped and did not go on for a long time. They saw his throat move as the muscles tightened. "She chose her own ending. This eat me like the lump sickness. White men do this who call Indians dogs. This the Indian does not do to women. Never. So we fight these rebels, burn and kill like them, and they fall to our warriors like deer. We drive them back and back, their blood wash our land clean, and it become again our land. This is our fight, but also England's. We look that the king's men keep their word, and then, wah! The English say, finish. They give up and go." "They knew they'd lost their colony," muttered Omri's dad. He was looking very uncomfortable, as if he was ashamed. But why, thought Omri? What the English did hundreds of years ago, it wasn't our fault. "Couldn't you go on fighting the settlers without them?" he asked. "The English have clever talk to make us take warpath. Now they make new talk. They say, we go home, no more war. They say, plant again the great tree of peace. Bury weapons, as Iroquois did long ago when the peacemaker ordered that we not fight the Mohawk against Onondaga, Oneida against Cayuga and Seneca. English say we must make new confederacy, this time with rebels. This is their counsel, but these are not Indian brothers to bring the white roots of our peace tree. They are our enemies forever. Anger burns our hearts. We want to fight, but we cannot follow warpath now without English weapons or other things we need. We cannot fight bows and arrows against guns, and our guns are empty. And rebels' fire burns against us again, more hot than before, because now they want vengeance. We have no supplies. Many fields black with fire, fruit trees cut. Our stomachs grow small. We must stand on our land against their guns, as in the beginning of the white man's coming, or we must find new hunting grounds where white men cannot follow." "But you need to decide where to go," said Omri's father. "Yes, that. and to turn angry young warriors from warpath when they want to fight without hope to win? Who will father new children if all our young men are dead? There was a pause in the conversation. Omri looked into Little Bear's smooth golden face in the flickering, shifting light. It was not just the cold that made him shiver, because for seconds at a time it seemed as if Little Bear vanished. The light would flash on him, showing his dark, anxious, expectant eyes. Then again he would disappear into a shadow. A thought he couldn't explain or suppress seemed to write itself across Omri's mind. Desperate. He feels desperate. We owe him. We must help. But wasn't this as ludicrous as Little Bear saying to him the first time he ever saw him, "You touch, I kill"? What could they possibly do to help? At last Omri's father said, "Which of the 6 nations of the Iroquois do you belong to, Little Bear?" 3 eagle feathers stand in my gustway. I am Mohawk, elder brother among our nations. I need to look up some things in my books. You bring paper that talks about what will come? Yes, I want to see what the Mohawks actually did. Of course, that doesn't mean your longhouse couldn't do something different. Back in the longhouse, in the compartment belonging to Little Bear's family, Omri and his father were left alone with their things. They were shielded by a stack of baskets in a corner by the bark wall. Omri's father immediately sat down cross-legged on the earth floor. Omri thought he looked strange in his Indian clothes, like an actor who'd forgotten to fix his hair and take off his watch. Indian skin, he noticed, was not red at all, but it wasn't white either. His father really looked like a paleface. He took stolen continents out of the box they'd brought. It had bits of paper sticking out, marking places, and he opened it to one of these, putting his face right down to the page. Omri realized he had lost his glasses when he had lost his own clothes. "What are you reading, Dad?" "I want to find out what happened with the Mohawks. I seem to remember some of them had settled in Canada long before the Revolutionary War, and the British promised more land around Lake Ontario to keep forever, as a reward for their help. I just have to see what happened to them, and whether our lot could join them. It'd get Little Bear out of the way of the horrors that are coming to the Indians who stay here anyway." He looked at Omri and said soberly, "This is such a terrible moment for them. You can't imagine how powerful the Iroquois were once, how well organized, and what ferocious fighters. They claimed to have conquered half this country before it was a country, and now they're facing annihilation. Let me read, Omri." He became immersed in his book. Omri knew he should stay close to him, but he was restless and hungry. He sniffed. Through the strong smells of bark, smoked sage, and smoked skins came a rich, meaty smell. The clean, cold air of the woods had sharpened his appetite. This morning they'd foraged in a box and found nothing. The tins of meat and beans and soup mocked their lack of a tin opener, and Omri thought enviously of Patrick tucked into the stuff in the cooler. He drifted toward the smell of stew, just to get a better whiff of it. He knew he mustn't break cover, but if he just put his head under the corn-husk curtain, the next second something huge pounced on him and gigantic teeth closed around his body. And that's the end of chapter 16.